I have to unpin all these things in this place. All right, so let's move on. Let me start recording now. Um, Now, as I was saying, right, I said I want to like talk about some important aspects of JavaScript now. So we'll talk about string interpolation, right? And then after string interpolation, we will now use it to like work on something on an example. Let's give it something much more, just work on a practical example. Let me use that word. So now, when we talk about string interpolation basically allows for just let me use this course outline. Just a moment, please. Now, when we talk about string interpolation, what are we saying? We are trying to look for. You know what? Let me explain something. Let me explain in a different way. Now, before moving to string interpolation, I'm going to explain concatenation to us. Now, when we talk about concatenation, we are basically talking about adding two or more strings together, right? Now, again, when we talk about concatenation, it's very important that we understand concatenation. This is like the pinnacle of strings manipulation that you need to get. When we talk about concatenation, concatenation means adding two or more strings together. If you add numbers together, 2 plus 2, it's going to give you 4. Now, what now happens if you add 2 plus 2, TWO plus TWO? What will happen? What do you think is going to happen? Is it possible? TWO, you understand? That is what concatenation is saying. So, for instance, let's try something. Let's say, let first number equals to what? 2. And let second num equals to what? Let's say 3, right? Now, if I go ahead and I say console.log first num plus second number, what is it going to give to us? Now, if I go right here now and I check it out, what do you have? You're going to have, you know what? I need to remove this one. Now, if I come right here now, we check it out. What do we have? We are now going to have 2, 3. This is basically what concatenation is saying. So concatenation is saying that, okay, whenever you bring, sorry, 1 minute, whenever you bring two strings together and you add them together, instead of making it in a normal what's the name, numeric calculation, what happens is that it just joins both strings together. Now that's basically what concatenation does. So I'm going to give another example. So if I say let first name equals, let's say, Paul, let last name equals Levites, right? Let full name equals, I'm going to say first name plus last name, right? Now, if I say console.log full name, sorry? I did put it in it. This is it. Dynamic string. Let's Yeah, that's what I'm saying. First name is already a string with the value of Paul. Last name is already a string to the value of Levites. So I don't need to put it in a string again. If I put it in a string, then they're no longer going to be variables. They're not going to be strings, which they already are. You understand it now? You don't get what I'm trying to say. So they are already first name and they're already in a string. You get it now. So all I have to do is just reference. So now, if we check it out now, what do we have? We have Paul and Levites together. You had a question before. Yeah, to join both of them together. I think we did it in our last class where we had 2 and TW. So it just bring both of them together. Get so that's basically what string concatenation is. Concatenation is saying, oh, I'm taking this particular string and I'm taking this particular string and I'm going to join them together. Now, okay, right? Okay. No, there's no way. There's no way. It's either number, it's either number or string. Yeah. There's no way. So now we have that's basically what string concatenation is. Now, moving on. If we're not concatenating strings together, so for instance, I did Paul and Levites together. Look at what happened. It's giving me Paul, Levites. Joining them together, there is no space, you understand? What if I want to put this space that is here? How will I do it? First of all, I need to add an empty string. You understand? And when I say string is just used in writing characters. You get it now? So if you want to have a space, that means you have to have an extra character in that place. Meaning that I have to add an empty string. So how would I do it? So I have first name plus last name, right? So I can just put another empty string and add another plus to it. Now I'm going to just give it this. So now, if I come right here now and I check it out, as you can see, there's a space now. Now, this space here is given to us by this empty string that is here. So now that is what concatenation is, basically. Now, we are not talking about solving all of these problems, all of these concatenation problems. So what do I mean? It helps with string interpolation. I don't necessarily have to use plus, plus, plus every single time and make my much more complicated. Now, what am I saying? For instance, let's say I want to do the same thing that is here. All I have to do with my backticks is, so I'm going to just go ahead and remove this. All I have to do with my backticks is, so I can say let full name equals to, now, what am I going to join together? I want to join full name and last name together, right? Isn't it? So all I have to do is say, oh, since I'm using backticks, I'll just put it in backticks, right? Then there's something called the dollar sign. Now, this dollar sign is now saying that, oh, I want to access a variable inside my backticks. Then I'm going to put them in what? In angle brackets. So I'm not going to say first name, right? I can even put this here, last name. No, so I can't put this here. First name, then another what? Dollar sign and curly braces. So I'm gonna have what? Last name. Now, if I save it up now and I come right here, so you can see that I'm going to have, okay, I've not called it out. So let us call it out. So say console, oh, I think we have it already. Console log full name. Now, if you come here, you should be able to see Paul right. Now, I didn't have to add the plus, minus, and everything. All I have to do was say Paul and Levi, and I have access to it. Now, this is basically what your backticks will help you do. First of all, your backticks helps with string interpolation, right? Better string interpolation. The second one, which we'll be talking about very soon, is what? Multi-line string, which technically I've actually given to us before. Multi-line string. So, do you understand what I'm trying to say so far? Is it clear to everybody? Because I don't want to just keep going. Mr. David and Mr. Kelvin, is it clear to you? Exactly. So
I guess
it's easier when you get to a particular stage and you have to plus so many these things together. You understand why it is actually it gets hard when you start doing them. So, but in cases like this, it is actually much more easier because it's easier for both little amount of string and multiple strings. You understand? So now that's one thing. And again, do not forget, I need you to check out the syntax. This syntax is very important. When I want to reference this first name variable, right? What did I do? I said, let full name equals, now I use the dollar sign. Sorry, after defining my backticks, I use the dollar sign inside of the backticks. I did not go outside and put dollar sign like this. No, I put my backticks dollar sign, as you can see. Then I put my what? My curly braces. Then I cannot reference that particular name. So I think it's first name I'm trying to reference. First name. Similarly, I did the same thing here. Still inside of the backticks, dollar sign, this, and then one last name. It's not going to work outside of that dollar sign. So it's important that we all understand this dollar sign. So console.log, I'm gonna have full name. Please, it's very important that we all understand the syntax. That's why I'm doing it again. It's very much important. So now that's what string interpolation is. Now, why am I explaining this now? I'm explaining this because okay. All right. So why am I explaining this? I'm explaining this because everybody needs to understand what template literals means. I'll talk about template literals in details. That's something that we're still going to talk about. This is just the basics. But I'm explaining because I want to actually spice up the examples that I gave before. Now, what exactly am I spicing up? Let us go back. I hope you can still see my screen. All right, good. So now we said let day equals to prompt. Now we now say switch day. Now we also have a case that now says instead of putting it in string like this, we're going to make it backticks, right? And then we're not going to have it in what? So in case whatever the person is writing, okay, no, not even this. I'm trying to look for an idea came to my mind now, and I've actually forgotten it. Okay, good. Now, this one now we have Monday, right? So what we're not going to do now is now I have console.log. So instead of this writing it in this way, can I say console.log? Now instead of using these two quotes or double quotes, what are we going to do? We're going to use backticks. We're not going to say you picked a, then we're not going to make it their choice, which is what they. Now, why are we doing this? Because now, you know what? I don't think this switch statement is the best one to use. I think it's this one. I think it's this one that we're going to be using. Now, why exactly are we going to be doing it like this? So now, if day equals Sunday, or equals what? Small Sunday. Now, if we go ahead and run this now, so I'm going to save it. If you go ahead and run Sunday now, see what I use small letter, right? See what you have here. Okay, that's a mistake. I'm going to refresh this again. Sunday. Now, see what you have here. Capital letter. Now, what we want to do is that if the user presses a capital letter S or a small letter, they're going to see exactly what they picked. You understand it now? So now, for us to able to get that, we're not going to say console.log rather than just putting loop on that. We're going to say console, then we're not going to say day. Now, this day is what the user picked. Eh, can you see it now? I'm going to explain that part again. It's very important. So as I was saying, can you see it now? Is it moving? Yeah? I'm not on the browser. I'm in my code. Okay. You can see my mouse moving around. Okay, good. So now what I'm saying is that what we want to do now is that we want to make sure that whatever the user picks or writes, whether it's a capital S or a small s, is going to be the same result as the answer. Rather than this one that is always going to give us capital letter, whether we write small or not. Now, how do we do that? We can say if day equals Sunday or what small letter Sunday, right? What do we want? We don't want it to just give us this hard-coded result. We want it to be console.log backticks, then $sign day. Now, as we all know, we already stored the value of this day. You picked a, as you all know, we already stored the value of this day to what? The prompt value that the user is going to put in. So if I come right here now and I refresh this and I say Sunday, can you see you picked a Sunday? Small letter now. If I refresh Sunday, you picked a Sunday. It's not necessarily that, okay, everything now has to go small letter. Do you get it now? Now, that is basically why I have to explain this particular string interpolation and backticks. This is basically what backticks does for you. Now, similarly, if we have this Monday also, we can do the same thing. Like I say, or small Monday, right? Then rather than using this particular one, I can change it to backticks, right? And I can say you picked a day. Similarly, you can do the same thing for Tuesday. So you can have Tuesday, then UPDs. Now, that is basically what your backtick is going to do for you. I change it to a Tuesday. You picked a Tuesday. Now, that is one thing backticks will surely do for you. Do we all understand how backticks works and everything about switch statements now and all of these things? Is it clear to everybody? Let me stop recording and better move on to the next point. Now, the next thing that we'll be talking about now is arrays. Sorry? Yeah, I'll give us time for that. Sure.